Thank you for listening to Right Jokes, Wrong Times. Today, I was joined by Dallas Vann. You can catch him on his podcast, The Antisocial Hour. We started the podcast talking about our clothes.
Oh, that's hot. Can you see me?
No, I actually don't want to see you, to be honest.
Okay, that's good. That's very good because I'm naked, butt naked.
Okay, if I could be completely honest, I just finished mowing the lawn. I did chores all day, right?
I thought you were gonna say I just got done jerking off. I was gonna be like, oh, whoa, Brandon.
Oh, I mean, come on.
Literally, oh, get it? Come on. No.
I've been awake for 5 minutes, so Jesus, chances are good.
Yeah, buddy. Bro, I jerk off in my sleep.
Dude, I was all sweaty and shit. So I was actually, for a little while, I was in the house, kind of finishing doing chores and shit. So I was underwear only. And I was going to take a shower right before the podcast. And I just didn't have time, right? I don't do video on these podcasts. So I was like, Do I do it underwear only? And I was like, no, I can't. I had to put on a shirt and shorts.
Here's the difference between me and you. You wouldn't be able to speak to me on the phone if you were in your underwear. Bro, the amount of conversations, important ones, I've had butt naked, fucking taking a shit. The amount of important phone calls I have literally
job interviews,
stopped having sex with a girl where we're both sweaty and just nasty and rolled over and be like, hey, shut up for a second. I gotta take this. That's the difference between me and you. Hey, Grandma.
Do you do a couple Hey, Grandma.
I'm horrible. I've literally had my dad call during school. He's like, what are you doing? I'm like, just taming some strains. And my dad's worse than I am. He's like, hey, your mom used to love the whirly bird. I'm like, what the fuck's the whirly bird? It's when you stick your tongue in their ass.
Oh, Jesus. Okay. Beyond all that, the fact that you're still hitting it. He mentioned your mom and you just breezed right past it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm here. I know that happened somehow.
I know, but dude, you went straight to the move. I'd be like, oh, come on, man. I would hang up, actually. You know what? Don't take that call. Maybe silence.
No, you know what? Because here's the thing. That's what he wants. And I know my dad like that. That's what my dad's a lot like me. He'll say the worst thing because when you hang up, that means he won. He's like, yeah, that pussy, I got him. So I gotta go back and forth.
Oh, well, are you talking about on the phone or in the room?
Whatever happens first, you know what I'm saying? I've told my dad some horrible things about my mom. We're not even gonna get into that. That's family stuff right there.
I'm excited to have you on today, man. One of the reasons that I really wanted to talk to you is you are just about the exact opposite of me as far as energy, I feel like, right? I am very monotone. I kind of talk like this all the time. If I'm excited, I sound like this, so
there's just a slight giggle underneath your breath. It's like the same monotone, but you can hear you're on the cusp of laughing. You get giddy like a little kid, bro. I love it.
Oh,
You're
dude,
so
I
innocent.
do. I ruined my best recording because I kind of giddily laughed through it.
It's like
I did on stage, man.
I think my parents are asleep. Let's go raid the fridge. Or I'm like, oh, I think your parents are asleep. I know the 40 cal is. Let's just go shoot up stop signs.
Jesus. The reason that I'm so excited to talk to you was you are almost the exact opposite of me on stage in my mind. You are nothing but energy, right? When you come on stage, I feel like you command the room and command everybody's attention, which is something a lot of times I have trouble doing. So I'm excited to hear the first joke of yours, the joke that you have that works.
The joke of mine that works, when you say works, you mean you are the whole, everybody before you has been booed, the crowd is bad. What is your number one? I'm gonna get them with this one. I
leave it open to you.
That would probably have to be my water park joke. So I have a joke.
I like that one.
You know, I have a joke about a water park, a local water park here in San Antonio, but the joke can be modified to just be a ghetto water park joke. And the funny thing is I spent so much time writing and thinking and trying to come up with witty stuff. When I wrote that joke, I literally was driving past Splash Town and I just looked at it and was like, I can't believe that place is still open. That's where dreams go to drown unattended.
Yeah.
And I started laughing and my friend in the car started laughing and I was like, oh, and just started writing all the horrible things about that park. And it's just, the water park joke is probably my number one go-to. I hate saying stuff and sounding conceited, but the fucking my dad saying go get in the lazy river. I said, Dad, there's too many Mexicans in that river to call it lazy. I floated around that bitch once. I got offered naranjas twice. Yeah. Like, it's just an inherently funny line.
Yeah.
And so if a room is really tanking, if I'm like, all right, these guys suck, that's usually what I'll open up with, because I have a part in there about dragging little Mexican kids around by the gold in their teeth with a giant magnet. See, right there, like, you can't hear that and just be like, oh, that's wrong. You hear that, you get a mental image, and you're like, oh my God.
Yeah, I know exactly like what water park was like the ghetto water park where I lived, because I always went to it. It was the closest one to me.
Yep. And then this place writes the jokes for itself. Like, there's a line in there that, this place is so ghetto. One time they couldn't pay their water bill. They shut off the water to the park, and they still opened it. That's not even the crazy part. The crazy part is people showed up. Like, a lot of people showed up to a water park with no water. Now, that's not me writing some witty. That's just a thing that happened.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Splashdown is, I feel like all the sand in their little beach is just grounded up meth pipes and needles, and they just ground it all up into a fine sand and let the kids play in it.
You're like, I left this here. I left this here 20 years ago.
Right? You just see little dates on grains of sand. You're like, is that an expiration date? What the fuck?
No, that place is bereft of expiration dates.
Yeah, bro. So that's one of my go-to jokes is the water park joke, So
it's kind of funny. I love that joke. When I think about you, I think of that joke for one reason. You are, in my head, much more of like a storytelling comic who like commands an audience and takes an audience on a ride, which I can't do. It's something that I'm like trying to learn how to do. I'm much more of like I will tell you the one-liner thought that I had. I'll tell you the thought that you had while you drove down the freeway, right? And in my head, it's hard for me to get past that one thought. Yeah,
it's just that. But you do something so well that I can't do it. It's the actual joke writing. Like I would consider myself a funny person. Like, just in general, like if me and you are chopping it up afterwards, like, I'm going to make you laugh. Whereas you are a very good joke writer. Like it's not necessarily like you can say it in a monotone voice. You can say however you say what you're saying, it's going to be fucking hilarious. Like, you're very good at that. Whereas my thing is I'm a storyteller. Like, let's pretend we're all at a party, drinking, smoking, and let's all just like, it's story time, like,
right.
Let's go. So,
well, dude, I'm so fucking glad I put clothes on before I did this, because I would hate to look down and watch you blow me like you just did. So I would love to get to the next segment, which is a joke of yours that didn't work on stage. So give me a joke of yours that you wrote that you loved that didn't work on stage.
Joke that I love that just never worked on stage. And it's weird. It's more of a concept.
Okay.
I found out that medical bad credit can't show up on credit reports.
Oh, shit. Yeah. Free. Actually, don't take advice from a podcast. I was going to say there's free advice, but don't take advice from a podcast. God damn it.
No, definitely don't. But I was trying to write a joke that was basically like, there's two types of people. There are the type of people that are like, I can't go to the hospital. Don't call the EMS. It's $1,000. Can't pay that. I can't go. I'm just going to sit it out because I don't want that on my credit. And then there's people that are like, oh, I stubbed my toe. I'm going to get an MRI. I'm going to get a fucking CAT scan. I'm going to have them reset it. Yes, send the EMS. And guess what? I'm not paying a dime. Figure that shit out somehow. It's not like some cancer patient isn't going to get their treatment because I didn't pay my bill for, whatever stitches. So but every time I go up and do it, half the crowd is like me, pieces of shit. And they're like, yeah, that's a great idea. That half the crowd is like, I cannot believe that you would do that. I cannot believe you're robbing from the, I'm like, whatever. So that one's tanked on me numerous times, but I try it.
I love that I fall in the category of people that let's say I got knocked unconscious and I came to right before they were about to put me on an ambulance. I would be like, hey, how much is this going to cost me? Can I opt out? You know what I mean? I'm in that bracket of people.
Right? Did y'all already charge me for showing up, or is it only if I get in and go? How does this work?
They would be trying to put me in the ambulance, and I would be like a cat, clinging onto the sides of a tub, trying to.
It's like, no.
Don't charge
like,
me.
Sir, you have bones sticking out of your throat. Leave me alone.
He's shredding his cards right now, right in front of us. It's amazing.
Yeah, see, and it's weird because I used to be like that, but then I've had so much random like medical bills, and I've just always it's been such a burden. And then I found out one day they're like, oh well, that stuff doesn't show up when they run your credit.
When you want a big ass TV.
Yeah, exactly. When you want that big ass TV, they don't care about that. Now that one time you were late on your phone bill, somehow that counts.
Yeah.
But the time you cost the state $20,000, nah, they're gonna have to figure that out one way. They send it off to collections, and oh well.
It's a write off, man.
Yeah, see, a lot of people don't like that joke. I guess it's too real.
You've hit the stage much more recently than me, so I'm excited to hear what you've been writing about right now.
Well, I got 2 jokes that I've been kind of working on.
Yeah.
And I feel like they're right on the cusp of being jokes that don't work and being jokes that work. But one of them is...
Wait up. If you don't mind, can I ask you, did you write these pre-COVID? Like, were you working on these pre-COVID or?
No.
Okay. That's what I wanted to know. You hit the stage more recently than me. I'm like, is it weird to get up and just continue a joke you worked on? If it's new, that's like all the stuff I'm going with lately.
Yeah, no, it going up now and trying to work on material that I was writing, 6-7 months ago.
Yes.
I don't have the same connection to it as I did then. You know what I mean?
I got 2 jokes I loved then that I was kind of cultivating, and now I'm like, how do I pick them up again?
Yeah, exactly. When you're not in the moment, like a lot of my jokes are just things that happen in the moment on stage, and then I build from there, snowball.
Yeah.
But so I kind of had to scratch a bunch of stuff I was working on, and now I've been writing a joke about because what have we all been doing? I've just been watching TV and hanging out. Doing nothing during this quarantine. And I've been watching a lot of like NASA unexplained files.
Yeah.
And like alien stuff. And it's basically a bunch of dweebs like trying to be like, well, what if? It's like NASA's like, oh, okay, well, this is what happened. And then these dweebs are like, okay, but what if the Nazis went to the moon? And it's like, okay, y'all guys are just crazy. But there was one where they were basically saying NASA sent a nuclear weapon to Jupiter.
Like they would.
Yeah, exactly. And they're like, NASA sent a nuke to Jupiter. And what actually happened, and I guess they sort of did, NASA had a satellite that was orbiting Jupiter. Once they're done with the satellite, there's really nothing to do. So they just sent it into the atmosphere. And
let's see what the fuck happens.
Yeah, and basically blew it up on the planet. Crash landed it on the planet, blow it up. Well, these satellites have plutonium in it. So when they explode, it is like a giant nuclear bomb, like huge. So yes, technically we did send a nuke to Jupiter.
No.
The joke was...
No. Okay. If I smoke a cigarette and flick it towards a nuclear power plant and it explodes, I didn't send a nuke. I just flicked a cigarette, okay? They had all the nuke shit there. They had all the nuke shit there. That's their fault.
We packaged all the things for a nuke, and they're like, if this thing ever blows up, it's really blowing up. Oh, but that'll never happen. And then one day we're like, I guess we're done with it. Let's see what happens when we blow it up. That's more like what happened to Jupiter. So these nerds, yeah, right. Fucking Jupiter file velocity, that'd be great. So these fucking dweebs are like, can you believe that we nuked Jupiter? And the joke is, yeah, I believe we nuked Jupiter. It's billions of miles away. We nuked New Mexico, and it's right fucking there. Like, we nuked New Mexico multiple times. I mean, I'm surprised we're not just chunking nukes at other planets like a fucking dartboard. Like... It's like, I wonder what happens when we hit Mars with this.
Wouldn't you love to be the person that just owned land physically the closest you possibly could to where they did that? And just be like, oh shit, that was kind of like right next to me. Like, maybe I should not drink the water here or be here generally.
Well, so veer off subject a little bit. John Wayne, right? He was filming a movie, forget which movie, but they were filming basically in Nevada or New Mexico, somewhere there.
Right.
Well, they were doing nuclear testing, miles away or whatever, hundreds of miles. But they didn't know anything about radiation or stuff like that. So a bunch of people miles away on set for a John Wayne movie ended up getting cancer and dying and having all this stuff because they were setting off nukes. And then the radiation floated downwind miles, and hit John Wayne. They say that's one of the reasons John Wayne died was just the radiation had fucked him up. And a bunch of people on that set, I think it was his Genghis Khan movie, actually.
He couldn't shoot the radiation?
Nope, couldn't shoot the radiation. I mean, you only got 6 shots, you know?
I mean, that was like right up his alley. If you could just, like, Old West style, pull out and just shoot at radiation.
You know, like in a cartoon, when there's a bad smell that comes out of the trash can, it's like a green mist.
Yes.
It's like a finger, and it like goes to your nose and like, ooh.
Yes.
But radiation, it's just like skull and crossbones, and John Wayne just shoots it with his revolvers.
John Wayne on the other side of like a 1-lane alley, just shooting at it.
Yep, exactly. Just like, fuck you, radiation. So, yeah. So that was a joke that I've been working on, but I don't know. A lot of people, once you start talking about space and nukes and Jupiter, they're just like, all right, nerd. I didn't come here for a fucking science lesson. I came here to laugh.
Well, that or you get like tinfoil hat people.
Oh, I love to see, but that's the thing is like, this quarantine has kind of turned me into a tinfoil hat person.
Don't blame it on the quarantine. Don't blame it on the quarantine.
I'm almost convinced 100% that there are aliens hiding in our oceans. So whatever, I guess, call me crazy, but
crazy.
Really?
Well, I mean,
covers 70% of the earth. Okay. Do you believe in aliens?
I believe that there are
somewhere.
The definition, there is life out there somewhere.
Okay, let's just say if they wanted to come here, right? And study us, look at us, whatever, and not be found.
Cuck us? They just basically want to cuck humanity?
They want to cuck humanity. No, they just want to see us. They just want to be like, I wonder what these dumbasses are doing. What better place than somewhere that covers 75% of Earth? We physically cannot go to the bottom and look and search. We can't look in there.
Okay.
It'll crush us like a tin fucking can. I'm just saying. And you could surround every country and monitor everybody. You don't think maybe? I mean, there's a lot of reports of alien sightings from like military fighter pilots and stuff like that saying they've seen things. I'm just saying, whatever.
Down in the ocean, these fighter pilots were down there?
No, these fighter pilots were coming off of aircraft carriers, and then they intercept these things in the sky, and then they're flying behind them, and all of a sudden these things in the sky just shoot into the ocean.
Okay, here's what I don't understand about this. The aliens are like, damn, we want to see these people and see what the fuck they're doing. So we're going to go to the deepest, darkest holes of the ocean because it covers like 70% of this planet. And we're going to chill there where we can't see shit.
No. They pop up. They do their little fucking investigations. But then when we're like chasing after them, like, oh, get over here, alien. They just pop down into the ocean. And, all right, there we go. We're like, damn.
They're like, I know they're down here. So we're going to be down here with them. But it's cool. We'll hide. We won't be up there where it's really hard for them to get to. Like crazy hard for them. Like nobody of them is up there except like 12 people.
What, in space?
Yes.
Well, look at this. Hold on. We've got telescopes, satellites, spaceships. Every country is working together. International Space Station. We literally take pictures of Venus, Jupiter, Pluto. Like we send out things. Have we done that to the ocean at all?
I don't know.
Nope. Actually, the answer is fucking no, man.
Very valid points. I didn't think about me sitting on the earth being able to look out. So very valid point.
Yeah, we're up there, bro. We're looking. We ain't finding much, but we're looking. Anyway, I think the oceans are. We should just bomb the oceans just to be safe. All of the oceans. Just send nukes down, and whatever floats up, floats up.
All right. Well, that's
move on.
Now the official position of this podcast,
the official endorsement.
Yeah.
Actually, that's the second podcast I've been on where I've advocated for the death of the oceans.
It's time.
Dude, I'm so pro global warming.
Drain the swamp.
Drain the swamp, the giant swamp. What bigger swamp than the ocean?
Fuck that swamp.
Fuck that swamp. Fuck.
If anybody could do it, America could, because we're good at relocating shit.
Yeah. I mean, look, we made an entire island of trash. Fuck that place. That place sucks. Killer whales suck. Sharks suck. Polar bears suck. Penguins smell like shit. Fuck them.
Dude, I can't thank you enough for being on with me today, man.
Absolutely, brother. It was a blast. Thank you for having me, and I hope one day we can do comedies again.